All right, today we're going to do a flip through of this Men's Adventure Library journal. This is the latest entry in the series. This came out in 2023, edited by Deis and Wyatt Doyle. I wanted to put this at the beginning real fast. Hey, Cattail. Because most people don't make it to the end. So if you're going to get this awesome book, it's at menspulpmags.com. And if it's in the U.S., the price includes the shipping. If you get it at Amazon, you got to pay the shipping. So I'm going to put that down in the description. And also I wanted to show the cover without the dust jacket on it. So there's the wraparound. No dust jacket. And now we'll do the flip. Go. All right, so here we go. Atomic Werewolves and Man-Eating Plants, when Men's Adventure magazines got weird. Edited by Deis and Wyatt Doyle. This was the last one to come out in the Men's Adventure Library Journal series. I was pretty excited to get this. I really enjoyed the Man-Eaters, the shark edition of the series. And so what we have here is a collection of short stories that were originally published in Men's Adventure magazines from, let's see, I think it's from the 50s to the 70s. And some of these stories were reprints from old Pulp mags. So they kind of go into the history of Pulp mags and how it led to the Men's Adventure magazines. And here's the first issue of Weird Tales, a famous old Pulp mag. It goes into the history of Weird Tales, which I didn't know any of it. It was very interesting. It was started by two guys. They owned multiple pulps. One of the guys split off and wanted to only do Weird Tales, put all the focus into Weird Tales. So then as the series goes on, you can see the artwork gets better, stories get better, it's more focused. At first they were just, it was just a side project. They didn't put a lot of effort into it, but as it goes on, you know, it's the stuff that ever became famous. Probably the most famous of the Pulp mags, I think, anyway. So here we go, a little history. Some of the people who contributed to this book. But what we're going to do is I'm going to flip through, kind of see the covers, but I also wanted to just do quick reviews of each story because I just finished it, so this is the time to do it. So yeah, there's a lot of introduction to this. Then we get to there's some covers. Once again, beautiful scans, the old covers of the Men's Adventure magazines. Cover art credited, and so this first story is Ronald Adamson, The Flag of the Stonewall Brigade. This is kind of a ghost story. This is actually kind of one of my least favorites. It has to do with this kind of like Confederate army coming back and kind of helping to save the day in the Korean War. Very kind of definitely a soldier's story. Patriotic, sort of, in a southern way. Some more beautiful covers. This one I liked a lot. Ward Simple, when the vampire was captured. Kind of like classic mythology of the vampire in a modern setting, in a modern U.S. setting. It was really creepy. the vampire was not romantic. It was a creature from the grave. It was pretty cool. Vampires rip my flesh. This is vampire bats, not vampire the monster. And these are all like, these first stories are the oldest ones, and these came from the pulps. Some of them. I think the earlier ones did. This is Lewis Greer, Vampires Rip My Flesh, and they said that this predates the Weasels Rip My Flesh, the famous kind of men's adventure cover story. And this is about some treasure hunters getting attacked by vampire bats in a cave. It's ridiculous. I don't think that the vampire bats are like these kind of monsters that the story makes out to be, but it was a fun story though. So it was good. That was a good one. Let's give the stories numbers. So let's do a scale of 1 to 10. I think Vampires Ripped My Flesh is probably like a 6. The other vampire story was, I'll put that at that was at an 8. And then the first story with the Confederate ghosts is probably more like a 4 or 5. So this next one up is Island of Doom by Bill Wharton, originally published in Sport Trails, spring 1957. This is kind of like a Jurassic Park, Land of the Lost type deal. Go to an island, find some carnivorous dinosaurs, get attacked. To be honest, I don't remember it too well, so I don't know. I guess it didn't stick with me, but as far as it being enjoyable, it was good, kind of obvious, but maybe at the time it wasn't as obvious. But, after Jurassic Park and all that, I think it's just been done a lot. The Greatest Adventure, Journey to the Center of Earth type stuff. Artwork here. We got, next up is Trapped by a Man-Eating Tree, Robert Moore. Originally appeared in Man's Life, 1958. This one was cool. Kind of similar to the dinosaurs, but a man-eating plant. That one was probably like a 7. Some covers here. So now up we have Manly Wade Wellman, which we love a lot around here. I like his Silver John character. Very famous sci-fi, I guess horror writer too. This originally appeared in Cavalier, 1959. The more lackluster covers there. But look at this artwork here is absolutely amazing. John Leone. This one is some heavy-duty stuff. This is kind of hard to read because it's realistic. It's portrays something that actually, probably did happen, and happened to slaves, people captured in Africa. This is a revenge story. This is probably one of the best stories in here. I give this a 10. It is kind of, reader beware. It deals with some brutal stuff, and, but there is retribution at the end. But it's just written, really well. Some of the stories in here are, really schlocky, and this is, even though it's pulp writing, it's some heavy duty stuff, and it's written really well. 10 for Manly Wade Wellman. Next up is The Master, H.P. Lovecraft, The Rats in the Walls. Obviously it appeared in a pulp first. It's just a reprint. They make a joke at the beginning that, H.P. Lovecraft would not be thrilled to be in Sensation magazine. So, The Rats in the Walls, a 10. Obviously, H.P. Lovecraft, we're a big fan around here. I thought it was really cool that they were able to get the rights to reprint this here in this collection. Always happy to read it. I haven't read this particular one in over 20 years, and so I couldn't remember what happened, and it was insane H.P. Lovecraft stuff. Guy inherits a house, or buys an old house that was once in his family, opens up not a portal, but a kind of another Journey to the Center of the Earth kind of thing, where they just find this hidden staircase and take it down into another world. Crazy H.P. Lovecraft stuff. Good stuff. This has some inappropriate language in it of the time, but you're going to get that with this stuff, and you can either handle it or you can't, but you're going to know it's going to be there if you like old stuff. Here's another excellent writer that I'm really glad that they got. I'm like covering up the cover. That they got the rights to. Gardner F. Fox, The Man Who Couldn't Die. This is a sci-fi. Originally appeared in Adventure, August 1961. Yeah, I gotta stop pointing at everything, huh? Not a huge fan of sci-fi, but it's Gardner F. Fox, so it was really good. About a guy, prisoner in the future, who undergoes a surgery to kind of put his mind into this robotic body that they shoot across the universe, across the space, infinite time to explore. And, he's supposed to, it's kind of like a Demolition Man, where they erased the bad stuff out of his mind, his need to destroy or rob or do whatever bad shit that he did. And, and he's like Wesley Snipes, like, they didn't erase nothing. I'm going to take everything over. And, it was cool. Had a twist ending. Good stuff. I would give this one a 9. It was a 9. I got some covers here, adventures, some more shark stuff. I'm always glad when they can put another shark in there. The Hunted, stop pointing. The Hunted, Rick Rubin, originally appeared in Adventure, October 1961. Excellent artwork by Bruce Minnie, printed. This one is another, wait a minute, let me see. Is this the, oh yeah, okay. So this was another sci-fi one with robots. And it's kind of, I guess, has some political ideology along the lines of maybe Ayn Rand or something, where only the strong survive, basically. I really did enjoy the story, even if I didn't agree with the concept, even though, like, biologically it makes sense, but we're beyond that as a people. Without, I don't know, I don't want to, like, spout my stupid opinions, but it was a good story. Even if you don't, agree with it, it was fun. It was interesting. Next up, we got The Werewolf and the Cowboy, Stuart Evans. Originally, C for Men. That's a weird name for a men's adventure magazine. November 1961. This is the werewolf story. Oh, that's a horrendous drawing. Art by Bob Baum. Looks like something I would draw. This is Art and the Cowboy. Oh, this was great. This was great. This was kind of like it kind of looks like it'd be a Western crossover, but it wasn't. It was like small town, stranger in town, cows are getting eaten, kind of like, it's not a mystery because it's pretty obvious who the werewolf is, but still it's a werewolf story, so that I love werewolf stories, so that puts it up on the list. So I'd give that it was probably like a 7 or an 8. Next up is Mad Doctor of No Name Key, Peter Eldridge, originally appeared in Adventure Life, December 1961. This is the cover, and it was done by Mort Kunstler. The Men's Adventure Library Journal put out an art collection book of Mort Kunstler. It was very, very cool. So this one is a kind of a necrophilia type thing. It looks like he's like a crazy mad doctor, I guess. But I think that's kind of a red herring because it's more about him like falling in love with this teenager with a terminal disease who reminds him of someone he met a long time ago. And she dies. He tries to save her, but she dies, and then you can just guess what happens. It was not really my thing, so I don't want to give it a low vote because of that, because it wasn't written bad. I don't know. We'll just put it right in the middle at a 5. Up next, we have Her Body Belonged to the Devil, George Venner. Originally appeared in Man's Look, December 1961. We got some Nazi imagery here. The Nazi dominatrix ideal is a pretty popular thing at the time. Kind of interesting kink there. Cover art by Scott Pike. It is cool cover art, though. Okay, so this story has nothing to do with the Nazis. This is like a black magic cult type story, and it's written like an expose of how you can get sucked into a black cult. This was kind of like one of my least favorite ones. It's like kind of this like paranoid conspiracy, they're coming to get you type, like Christian paranoia, I guess, kind of straight people paranoia. And it was just kind of boring, and I don't know. It was one of my least favorites. I'd probably give it a 2. And it wasn't really written like a story so much. It was, it has like a little bit of a fiction story to it, but mostly it was, like an article. All right, so next up we got Their Bodies Glowed with Fire, Dean Marshall from Peril, December 1961. Very cool Western sci-fi cover going on here. John Doyle. Once again, I think one of the best parts of these books is the scans of these beautiful artwork. You know, it's not only are you collecting like the excellent fiction that's in it, but this beautiful artwork too. Yeah, never get sick of looking at it. There's how the black and white, how it appeared in the actual magazine. This one is very. This is one of the more what you would expect would be in a men's adventure magazine. It's about this Native American guy who comes back from war, and he goes back to his reservation type area and goes out into the desert. I think he's mining for gold, it doesn't, that kind of doesn't matter why he's out there. He's out there and he sees a UFO. They land. They are hot women, and they need him to repopulate their planet. He just like bangs all these hot space chicks. It was awesome. I love schlocky stuff like this. I'm gonna go ahead and give it I don't want to give it a 10 because that's what we reserve for like H.P. Lovecraft and the Manly Wade Wellman. But it was fun. We'll put it in an 8. Very enjoyable. Up next, The Blonde with the Mysterious Body, Theodore Sturgeon, sci-fi writer. Excellent sci-fi writer. Originally appeared in April 1962. Kind of a lackluster cover there you got going on there. This one was, it was weird. It was very out there. And it wasn't the sci-fi that I don't like. It was like the sci-fi kind of more like creepy. It was creepy and kind of based in reality, and just kind of this weird shit. I don't even know how to explain it. There's this guy, he's on sick leave from work. He loves spying on people, and he sees this woman move into his apartment building, and she has this weird, he like kind of breaks into her room and like finds this weird folded up human skin, and he's like, oh my god, what is she doing with this thing? So he like kind of makes a peephole and then watches her, and it's really, really weird, and just, I don't know, it just kind of has you kind of entranced, almost kind of like a David Lynch thing here. That was really good. I'll go ahead and give that an 8. It had atmosphere, so it was a little bit slower, and like nothing, there's no answers. It was just kind of out there, like very David Lynch, where he's like, what the fuck just happened? Next up, Foul Play, William Vane. Originally appeared in Escape to Adventure, May 1962. Cover art by Sidney Shores. Excellent cover art. Very, very pulpish horror. This one was about a guy who works at a slaughterhouse killing chickens, and he doesn't like his wife, and his stepmom lives with them, and he wants to chop their heads off, and the script is flipped. Pretty basic stuff. It was probably like I guess we'll give it a 5 also. Up next is Strange Cult of the Vampire Tarantulas. Rick Manners, originally appeared Peril, September 1962. Cool cover art here by John Dulio. The cover art depicts the story. This time, they don't always depict the story. Actually, they don't often. And as we go on, the stories kind of get less quality written. There's less quality in the writing, and it becomes more of just kind of, I don't know. It's just not as good. I don't know how to put it. Anyway, this is about some scientists who travel to this island because they have they're doing research, and they send out other scientists who've gone before, and they disappear, and now these two have to go find out what happened to them. They get there. There's a island of giant tarantulas and a mad scientist with kind of like a odd twist that you don't see coming. Really outlandish type stuff. it was very ridiculous, like B-movie schlock. It reminded me of the Mesa of Lost Women. Actually, it was a lot like that movie, The Mesa of Lost Women, which is really cool. It was a really good movie. Well, if you like 50s black and white schlocky movies. We'll go ahead and give that story a 7. Next up, we have Soft Nudes for Nazis, Dr. Horror. Martin Bowers, originally appeared in Man's Stories, September 1964. Some more Nazi artwork here. Cover by Norm Eastman. This one was hard to get through. This was like the witchcraft thing where it was just kind of something that was real. This was not fun. I don't like real crime. I don't want to read about serial killers and real horrific things that happened in life, in existence, in our culture. And it was horrible. It was just people, these doctors mutilating people, and what sucks is that you knew that this stuff really happened, and I don't know, it just was not fun. I'm sorry guys. I would have skipped that one. I gave it a 1. I just was not into it. I don't know, Nazi. If I want my Nazis like in space and cartoonish and not like mutilating people and killing them in horrific ways. Stone Age Lust today. Jeffrey Constane, originally appeared in Man's Daring, July 1965. Stone Age Lust today. Oh, okay. Oh man. So yeah, this artwork is amazing. The cover artwork was very lackluster. This is by John Doyle again. Yeah, I love that. That is great looking. I don't know why they didn't use that for the cover. You know, look at how boring that is. Shit, they could have just put that right there as the cover. This is about more cult, black magic, paranoia. Kind of the same thing. Scientists go to Stonehenge and are attacked by hundreds of evil druids, which I just don't think is historically accurate. I don't think druids were crazy murderous people. So it was ridiculous. I give it it was like a 4. I don't know. The stories kind of like they're not as good towards the end, because as it goes on, I just feel like they're not getting as solid writers in the men's adventure magazines. They're kind of dying off, so they're maybe paying cheaper rates, and they got cheaper authors. Some beautiful cover art here. Next up is Killer of the Cave, Gene Preen, from Adventure, April 1966. Cover art by Shannon Sternweiss. It's hard to read that upside down, so sorry if I got it wrong. Oh, this is a post-apocalyptic sci-fi horror, kind of like a werewolf story. It reminded me of Track of the Moon Beast, that movie, that Mystery Science Theater riffs on. Where it's just like these survivors in a cave, and they're mysteriously dying, and they can't figure out why, who's doing it. It's pretty obvious from the beginning who the killer is, but it was still cool. I liked the werewolf type thing, and apocalypse is always good. I'll give it a 7. So this is the bonus one. This only comes in the hardcover edition. Tonight, Satan claims his naked bride. This was very similar to the Druid one, where it's like a cult captures a lady and the guy has to survive, but it's a lot smuttier. It's a lot filthier. So if you're into more, you want more grit, you want more sleazy exploitation type stuff. This was right up there. It was pretty good. It was pretty good too. I'll give it a 6, and that's it. Then it has the past issues. What all they put out. All very, very interesting, very cool looking. I've gotten a box of them, which we will be going through as soon as I read them. Ads for new texture. I didn't realize that he put out music too. I was going to check that out today. And there you go. I loved it. It's another excellent issue in the series. It was a lot of fun. I looked forward to it every night, reading it, and it was a great. I liked that it had a bunch of different genres in it, so you never knew what you were getting, and it was even cooler that some of the writing wasn't as good as the other. I don't know. So another top-notch release.